Timothy Bradley, Paul, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fans want to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you went ahead and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone 6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
Break it down. Give me 5 people you're ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paul, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fans want to see.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you went ahead and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone 6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.
All right. It's going down. Allow me to reintroduce myself. Let's get a focus so you guys can see my ever so handsome face. I got the muscles out today. You know what I'm saying? I just came back, Y'all know what time it is, right? So listen, man. This is what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and cook. Bring this down some. All right. Get back to the crew. All right. This your boy Zone 6 coming at you with another video. Straight off the temple. No pad or pencil. Live in HD at the Eastside Palace. It's going down, man. It's going down. So let's go ahead and get right into it. I purchased the pay-per-view yesterday to support both of the fighters. I am a supporter of boxing. I purchased it with my own money. So this is going to be my legitimate critique of the product that I purchased. So I feel qualified as a boxing fan and as a person who purchased the product to actually speak on what I witnessed with what I purchased. I'm going to say this. It was an absolute banger. It was on fire. I love the enthusiasm between Lomo and Devin Haney. The lightweight division is easily heating up as the overall best division in boxing as it currently stands. Now, the thing and the key takeaway from this fight is that this was a fight that we needed, and I'm glad that we got it sooner rather than later. So I am extremely appreciative of that. I mean, because this is what these guys should be doing. And I'm gonna say this. I had the fight initially. If you tracking my channel, I kind of progressed through some different prediction outcomes. The first outcome I had was split decision, Devin Haney with controversy. I just know this is one of these fights that's going to produce that kind of result. When you be around the YouTube boxing community for as long as I have, for like 9 years now, you start to realize there's going to be certain patterns and certain nuances that's going to take place within the community, depending on the type of fight, depending on the type of individuals involved within the fight. And Lomachenko and Devin Haney just have this built-in opposition within the scope of boxing as it pertains to each of the fighters. Demographics, culture, traditions, stylistically, people are going to sway to one side or the other based on their own personal experiences and beliefs about the game of boxing. Now, what I had did was I transitioned from controversial split decision to unanimous decision for Devin Haney. The information that I had received that made me change my pick to UD was the fact that they selected Harvey Dock as the referee and the third man that's in the ring. And that was a good response to the travesty and the robbery, okay, that we saw with Rolly Marrero. Now, with the Rolly fight, that is an example of a robbery, of something that is egregious, okay? And we all know we kind of got on, Tony for his performance in the ring as a ref. Now, I already said that the guy need to be tested. He need to be thoroughly investigated because something just stunk about that decision that Tony made the week prior. So as a result of that, we get the announcement that Harvey Dock won't, he will be the referee for this particular fight, and that is to avoid what we saw the week prior with Rolly Marrero. And I thought that was a good adjustment. So I then upgraded my decision to UD for Devin Haney, still with controversy. Okay. So yesterday I was out. I was doing some thing just in the personal life. Came back. I was feeling good. It was time to order the fight. I got hyped. You know what I'm saying? I got excited. And I just wanted. And I wanted to wheel. And hopefully that I was thinking that Devin Haney, based on the push, because I did like the push. I did like the up-tempo aggression. I did like that. And I felt like Devin Haney came to fight. He came to win. And when I seen him push Lomachenko, I felt that it was warranted. I don't feel like it was a fake move. I don't feel like it was a bogus move. I don't feel like it was classless. I mean, this is already legalized assault, guys. Okay, let's start with the bullshit, right? I mean, let's be honest. Nobody should be beating anybody in their head if we're going to be claiming to be civilized. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's sanctioned or structured. Boxing is kind of primitive. So let's not act like two guys who finna go in here and legally assault each other in the game of sporting. That a guy who pushes another guy at the weigh-in, that somehow, it's so egregious, it's so fucking classless. Hey, man, you guys got to get off that bullshit sometimes, okay? So I like to push, okay, because testosterone levels are high. These guys been in camp. Some aggression is going to be there. You could call it immaturity or whatever the case may be. But I thought it was a good, proactive approach toward the psychology and the physicality in an attempt to give Lomachenko something to think about going into the ring, whether it made him react in an emotional way, get out of pocket, and maybe that did influence his aggression toward Devin Haney within the fight. Maybe it did. So I transitioned from split decision with controversy to UD with it being controversy, and the push got me to saying maybe Devin Hany is going to stop him late. And the reason I changed it to that last night with the video prior to the fight coming on is because I knew this was going to happen. The controversial takes, the outbursts, the woe it's me attitude. I got the wrong pick, but it really was the right pick type of bullshit, right? That's why I wanted Devin Hany to stop him. I needed something like that so it could be definitive. That way we don't be confused on what happened. But unfortunately, he couldn't get the stoppage. He didn't press the tempo late in the fight to make that a possibility. I mean, I would have been satisfied with just a knockdown from Devin Hany just to give me that little bit of added separation, because I knew people were going to give Devin Hany a hard time if he had pulled it off. We was already talking about controversy and the outlook of the fight before. So me just as a person, I wanted Devin Hany. I was rooting, when I made my video last night, I was rooting for the outcome of a knockout so we wouldn't have this issue. Now we got to talk about this shit for the next goddamn I don't know how long. Like, and I just don't be liking that, because the boxing community, sometimes we don't just sit back and analyze it properly. Look, if you pick Lomachenko, all due respect, that's a great pick. But if you got it wrong, man, you got to understand you got it wrong. This is not Rolly Marrero and the shit we saw last week, guys. Come on, cut these guys a break, man. Call it right. Concessions is needed in boxing so that these guys can continue to fight, man. If you don't concede and you don't pay respect and you don't pay homage, then these guys are not going to be enthused or motivated to fight. Okay? I'm just evaluating the product that I purchased and what I've heard thus far within the YouTube boxing community. And while this is fresh on my head, I'm going to drop this. Now, eventually, when I edit this video, I'm going to thumbnail the picture of a throne with a crown on it. And I'm going to explain that here in a second, okay? What I mean. Because I want to give you guys a little psychology and a little philosophy about my take on what I saw based on the product that I purchased last night. I was very, very excited. I was very, very pleased. I was very, very enthusiastic. I had Devin Hany the whole way. I had Devin Hany because he was younger, sharper, a little bit more hungrier, and enthusiastic to hold his undisputed title. That's the impression that he gave me. Not to say that Lomachenko wasn't game and he wasn't there to fight, but I also knew that Lomachenko wasn't what you guys by and large described. And what was that? He wasn't old. He wasn't washed. I knew he came to fight. That's why I said UD with some controversial decisions attached to it. Okay? Now, I was rooting for separation because I just don't like to deal with this. So I kind of sometimes react out of fun. My reaction to saying, man, please, God, let this guy Devin Hany, man, stop this guy. Because I picked Devin Hany. But I said, please let this guy knock this guy down and stop this guy, man, because we're going to have to hear on just so many channels on how it was a robbery, how it was fixed, how it's just too much bullshit. And I don't think that's the case. Okay? So what needs to happen is just go back and look at the fight, relax, take your time, because the telecast and the announcers was extremely in favor and slanted toward the productivity of Lomachenko and what he was doing in the ring. Timothy Bradley got this obsession with top-ranked fighters. And I know he was with top-ranked, and I understand that he has some loyalty to a side, because the announcers historically have to do that. You have to have good cop, bad cop, and somebody that's kind of indifferent, right? That's kind of how the triad ad works. Back in the day when you had Roy Jones on there, you had Lampley, and then you had Larry Merchant, classic dudes. Okay, we all get it. We're not satisfied with their take and what they say about certain things when they're doing the telecast, and that can sway your opinion. But Lomachenko did excellent. He is no slouch. So I don't want to hear this shit when he fight somebody else that he's old and that he's watched and about controversy and the fucking fixes in. This guy is capable and able, and he's a grown ass man. Okay, you understand what I'm saying? He's a grown ass man. Stop coming in here making excuses for this guy when he don't need those excuses from you. This is a world-class athlete. For 8 weeks straight, only thing he do is wake up, eat, sleep, drink, and shit. Boxing. And his opponent, which is Devin Hany. Let them guys live, man. Let them grow up. They grown. We don't got to hold their hand. The results are the results. Now that shit, in comparison, to give a contrast, that shit with Rolly, that was bullshit right there. But this last night was almost historical in nature. I haven't seen a high-level chess match of that magnitude since Spinks, Larry Holmes 1 and 2. If you're a fan of outboxing and skills, I haven't seen a fight like Lomo and Devin Haney since that, with something on the line, okay? And that undisputed championship being on the line last night was near and dear to my heart. I liked it. I enjoyed it because it was worth something. It was valued. And Devin Haney put his names in the history books. That was an undisputed defense against a ATG type of fighter. Lomachenko is an all-time great fighter, and he deserves all the respect. He's not old. He's prime. He's smart. He's a veteran. He's savvy. He has amateur pedigree that is unmatched historically in boxing. He was called Loma. What they called him? Lomachenko, some Loma or something at one point, because a lot of guys was quitting. When Loma had his ride, he had his ride. He was the man, and it's not over with. He's good. So full credit to Devin Haney. And the concessions is, if you see the draw, that's respectable. Ain't nobody knocking that. If you saw it as a draw. If you saw it as a win for Lomo, that's respectable too. Okay? But I saw it for Devin Haney 7-5. Okay? That is Hyplo, appreciate you. No Maschenko. No Maschenko. Exactly. So let me see this. And let me say that. Now again, back to the thumbnail, what I'm going to place on this, because I want to talk to you guys about something. I'm going to thumbnail this with a throne and a crown on it. The crown is going to be on the throne. And the reason for that is because I want to give you some thought process about me and how I evaluate the fight, if I can. When you are the king, when you are the embodiment of a championship and the title in the sport of boxing, because the sport of boxing changes hands directly. It is not seasonal. There's no break and then reset for all. There's a lineage that is continued. That's why I've done my body of work in my massive presentation on the heavyweight lineage in the bloodline of the belts. If you haven't checked it out, go check it out. I got a playlist for that. Okay? Specifically for historical content. And I'm very, very interested in tracing the bloodline of the lineage of the belts, because it tells you where boxing is flowing. There's a lot of dips and moves and grooves, but overall, it shows you where we're going. And I love that about boxing. There's a certain element of kingship and leadership that is embodied with that heavyweight crown. And as a king, when you embody the crown or the titles, undisputed in this regard, you already have a built-in obligation, right? An inherent obligation to be in defense mode. Everybody wants to wear the crown, but no one wants to defend the throne. There's a difference. See, once you embody that kingship and you get bestowed the crown or that title and you're the man, okay, there's a certain level of protocol and defense that then has to go in place because you keep what you kill. And as the king of the hill, Devin Hany at the king of the hill of 135, he got challenges coming from the east, the west, the north, and the south. Lomachenko just happened to be one from the east. Okay? And it is Devin Hany's inherent obligation to start with the defense of his crown, which is undisputed. So when you are the challenger and you are seeking the crown, it's like the rule of two. One person embodies the power and another one craves it. Lomachenko craved the power. And you know this because he cried after the fact. It was an emotional experience because he craved it. He wanted it. He wasn't old. He wasn't anything that you guys described. Not to say that you was wrong in your judgment or your assessment, but he wasn't any of that. He defied all that which what we thought he was. He was great. And he craved it. And he know he gave his all. He know that it was a valid effort, but it just wasn't enough to usurp the king off of his throne. In pursuit of the crown, you have to usurp the man, the title holder, the undisputed champ, the king, off his throne. You have to. I know this is a world where everybody get trophies for participating and just fucking showing up and just paying your money and having a cool ass personality and just putting asses in seats. So that's the crown, the economic crown. But in some cases, that's not how it works. Undisputed is a real fucking crown. It's one of them things in life, in boxing, that no one can change or rearrange. You can say belts don't matter all you want to. You could come up with whatever logic you want to not to participate in this attempt to usurp a king. You can do whatever you want to do. But Devin Hany is the king at 135. And it's already understood that he's in a defensive posture. And if he could defend his crown and throne simultaneously with a solid performance and solid effort, and I don't see any exploitations of his crown and his lineage as the man, I can't take it away from him. I can't. Lomo came, he charged, he rushed his man, city, he rushed his man camp, he wanted to take his city, he tried to breach the gates, and Hany fought him back and pushed him back out. That doesn't mean that Lomo didn't fuck up some shit in the city, this more metaphorically speaking. It doesn't mean that he didn't shake some shit around in Devin's kingdom. It doesn't mean that he didn't do that, but they can rebuild all that shit. He vanquished Lomachenko back off and out of his kingdom, off his title, off his throne. He didn't take the man's head. Lomachenko did not take his head. Yeah, they had a good go. I mean, of course he should. I mean, you wanted Lomachenko to go in there and get his ass destroyed? So we can really say how old he was and wasn't? Did you really want to see Lomachenko go in there and be obliterated and it be not even close? No, you didn't want to see that. You wanted to see what you saw last night. That's why you're talking about it. And this is going to hold us over to the next fight. And then the next fight. Until we get some more action at 35. And this is what happens when a division becomes hot. We start to pick our sides. We start to draw our lines in the sand. And we give the attention to the hot division, which is 135 without a shadow of a doubt, thanks to these guys. These guys are to be respected. But I want you guys to really think about that for a second, man. Okay? Think about that for a second. When you're the king and you wear the crown, you have to defend that throne. You have to defend the throne. The crown comes afterwards, but the throne is what needs to be defended. Undisputed was defended nicely to me. Close, yeah, absolutely. 7-5 for Devin Hany is what I had. I can see 8-4 for Devin Hany. I can see 8-4 for Lomachenko. I can see 7-5 for Lomachenko. I can see a draw. I can see those 5 spectrums of possibilities and outcomes. Hany did his thing. You got to respect him for that. We know Hany ain't no power puncher. We know Hany ain't Tank. Hany is his own man. He's different stylistically. So what I'm going to say is this. I can see a rematch. I wouldn't be mad at that. But I would like to see Tank Davis versus either of the two. This is a call out to Tank because I'm a Tank fan. Tank can't just be given the benefit of the doubt. If you're a Tank fan like myself, we got to put pressure on him because just because Lomachenko and Devin Hany fought, that ain't got shit to do with Tank. Tank got to get his ass in the ring. He got to fight them too because that might not happen for him. Devin Hany and Tank, Hany might school him, outbox him. Lomo might school him and outbox Tank. From what I seen for Lomachenko got a lot left in the tank. You just need to get a little bit more crispy or stay a little bit active. And I want to point out something too that you guys about the fight because I don't want to talk too much about Tank and what he might do and won't do. I'm just saying I'm rooting for Tank. I think based on the performances I've seen for both of them, Lomachenko and Hany, I got Tank stopping both of their asses. Tank is a little bit too more accurate, a little bit more controlling of the pace, a little bit more sturdier, a little bit more stronger. And within those exchanges from both of those guys trying to exchange with Tank, they're going to get knocked out or at least put on their pockets. And Tank is going to separate himself from those two guys if he were to fight either one of them. Okay? And that's my basic intro assessment of what Tank might do. But that's a hypothetical. They got to get in the ring and fight. Now, I want to see Tank versus Devin Hany next. I just want to see it next. I think this is an opportunity for those two guys to strike gold and give us a classic lightweight fight. And if Hany can pull this off, Hany's going to move up the 35 charts all time and historically. What I'm going to do right quick, because I want to keep this just brief, 30 minutes, I got my piece out. I'm going to drop the link in here, and I'm going to let everybody rotate through for a few minutes, 15 to 20. Give me your brief synopsis of what you felt happened in the fight, who you had winning prior to the fight. What do you think is next for both? The basic stuff. You guys can slide in here kind of one at a time. I want everybody to get their airtime. I don't want anybody stepping on each other. So I want to drop the link. And if you feel like delivering your position on the aftermath, then you can go ahead. Here we go here. If not, I'm going to shut it down and move on. I only want to say that. But I want you guys to keep that in mind, man, when you start talking about defending Undisputed in the Undisputed crown. It's not just a crown, it's a throne. And again, everybody wants to wear the crown, but no one wants to defend the throne. And there's already an inherent defensive posture and stance in which is bestowed upon the king or the title holder. And that title holder is Devin Hany. He's the man, period. Lomachenko has an obligation to come in there and undress him, not the other way around. Okay? What comes easy, go easy. Unfortunately, Devin Hany wasn't going to let it go. Devin Hany wasn't going to let that title go. So it is what it is. It's one of them things. So is there anybody that want to jump on? I'm going to drop link in one more time, and if anybody got any announcements, not just if you want to talk about the fight, but just come on and make any announcements that you may have far as your channel, or if you're going live, you could give me your opinion and then do that now so we can get everybody navigated to everybody's channel. I just want to get everybody's final thoughts. If you want to jump on real quick, if you can, speak your piece one at a time. I'll take about 5 or 6 people for about 15 minutes and then tell me what your thoughts is. If you got something going on after this, you got a live going on, if you got some announcements that you want to make, you could do that here on my channel. In the meantime, in between time, while people find themselves clicking the link or not, I'm going to keep it open for about 4 or 5 more minutes, and then I'm going to shut it down and I'm going to start rotating through the tube because I just got done, moving around, and I see right now that the Heat is going to go for a sweep on these Boston Celtics. That's a whole nother story. We basketball is something different. I don't really talk nothing but boxing on YouTube. I can get basketball in real life. So, announcement from me. I'm gonna be chilling, doing some research. I got a debate coming up with Get This Smoke coming up this Saturday. It is going to be 3 o'clock West Coast time, PST, Pacific Standard Time, and that means it's going to be 4 o'clock for the Mountain, and then that means it's going to be 5 o'clock for Central, and it's going to be 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on next Saturday. So, next Saturday. This Saturday is coming up. That's the 27th on my channel live in HD. All right, so it's going to be for Undisputed. All of the belts are going to be online. And you see me real quick. Get the Smoke. He got the belt, right? And me, I got the belt. I'm unified. So all 3 belts are going to be online. Me versus Get This Smoke. Live in HD on my channel. This Saturday come up. So while I'm here, let me go ahead and introduce my guys. We got Phil Walker in the back. He finna jump on and he gonna cook and speak his piece. And then we're gonna bring in Hyplo as Phil start to cook in the mouth and make his announcements. But those are my final thoughts on it. You give me yours in the comment section, or you can give me yours by jumping on live in HD. But we're gonna start with Phil Walker first. Yo, Phil, you got it. The floor is yours. What's up, boy?
Yo, man, what's up? What's up, family?
Chilling.
Man, look, bro. Look, I share the same sentiment with you, man. I could have seen that fight ending several different ways, man. I know a lot of boxing fans right now are in an uproar because they're saying Lomachenko got robbed, but I don't share that same sentiment, man. It was a lot of close rounds. The judges had it exactly how they should have had it, close in nature. You understand what I'm saying? If Lomachenko wins the 12th round, it's a majority draw, and those guys may have to lace up the gloves again. You understand what I'm saying? But look, man, at the end of the day, I think Lomachenko still has a lot left in the tank. I think he went out there, showed a good outing of himself, as well as Devin Hany. I think Devin Hany obviously has a lot more to desire as far as his experience, because it became a point in time in the fight where I don't think Devin Hany nor Bill Hany had an answer for what Lomachenko was doing. He was absorbing the body blows in order to get close to Hany and deliver his punches and fight on the inside. You understand what I'm saying? So, look, man, at the end of the day, man, it was a beautiful clash between 2 outboxers. I think both those guys showed well of themselves, and I think it may or may not go down as a classic. I don't know, but it was one of those kind of fights that was extremely close. And I could, like you said, I could have seen a draw. I could have seen Loma winning, and I could have seen Devin winning. I mean, at the end of the day, Devin Hany got the nod, and that's all that matters, man. And Bill Hany said that they don't want to do a rematch because he felt like his son dominated the fight. He holds all the cards because, as you said, he is the king of the division. And if he doesn't want a rematch, he does not have to give one. I think he should move on to younger talent within the division, such as Tank or possibly Shakur Stevenson or one of those guys. And we can see what comes out of that. Or if he doesn't want to stay at 135, he can move up to 140. Right now, all the cards are in his hand. And I think after beating a future Hall of Famer and a potential all-time great, um, rightfully so. And that's pretty much all I have to say about the Hany and Lomachenko fight. Congratulations to Devin Hany for defending his undisputed crown, man.
All right. Also, too, real quick announcement for the debate that's coming up this Saturday with me and Get the Smoke. Phil is a joint certified judge. Me and Get the Smoke both had selected him together. So there's no foul play there. He likes Phil. He respects Phil. I respect Phil. That's my brother. And we both unanimously picked him live in HD on Smoke's platform. If you want to see how the debate developed, go to Get This Smoke podcast. He usually do a marathon run on every Friday, but we both jointly picked Phil Walker. Go ahead, Phil Walker. You got the rest. If you want to speak on the anything you got going on after this, or just brackets or anything like that.
Yeah, well, man, I had a bracket going with the debate series. Only few people signed up for it, but that's fine. Those few people are gonna have an opportunity to put cash in their pockets. We're gonna see how that unfolds as far as the pool play is concerned. But yeah, man, I'm excited about the debate between Zone 6 and Get the Smoke, man. I think it's a very interesting topic, and I'm curious to see what level of knowledge these guys are going to bring to the table. You understand what I'm saying? Because I know both of these guys very well, and I know their knowledge stretches very, very deep over several decades. And it's going to be a debate that everybody absolutely 110% needs to tune into for sure, man, because it's going to be good for the community and it's going to be good for educational purposes. And you may find out some things that you didn't know about these two juggernauts in boxing. So if you're not doing nothing, man, if you are doing something, make sure you hit the playback. And man, just be on the lookout for the debate, man. I'm excited. I'm honored to be a judge. And I appreciate those guys both believing in me and my ability to assess who makes the better argument for their particular fighter. So I'm excited about that. And after this show, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go live after my man Zone 6.
All right, Phil, we'll get you out here so you can get set up. Hey, y'all going over to the fix, man. Phil Walker, shout out your channel real quick and let you get set up so they can know where to go.
Yeah, man. Y'all see it on the screen, man. The Fix, THA, space, FIX, space, sports, space, TV, man. Y'all come over to the channel, man. It's going to be me, potentially Hyplo, Zone 6, and we're going to rap on some boxing shit, man. Real brief, real quick. We're going to run down everything, man. It's going to be good for the community, man. Y'all come and holler at me.
All right, Phil, we're going to go ahead and get you up out of here, man. Do your thing. All right, look, we finna pass the rock to Hyplo, and we're going to bring in Get the Smoke as well. So me and him can do some banter back and forth, and he can speak his piece on the Lomo topic. Hyplo, me and Get the Smoke also pitched his name as one of the judges, and he didn't make the cut because me and Smoke unanimously decided, hey, no, that's not gonna work. And that's how we decided. And it's not a knock on Hyplo. It's just that we like to keep it fair and balanced. And it's just to give context to these debates as well, too, in addition to subject matter about boxing. So we just showing it how to clean it up, respectful, and it's all love. Me and Smoke are boys, so this ain't YouTube beef or anything like that. Me and him just want to put together an educational piece. And I think he and I both can push the debate thought process to the limit. So Hyplo OG, I love what you're doing. Hyplo the legend, as I call him now. You go ahead and speak your piece, and I'm going to bring in Smoke as you continue to speak your piece. Go ahead. What you got on the subject, Hyplo?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I enjoyed the fight. I thought it was good. Good back and forth. Personally, I scored it a draw both times I watched it. However, if I was going to give it to one guy or the other, I would give it to.
Say it again, Hyplo. You cut out. You said you give it to one guy and then you cut out. Yo, Hyplo, you still there? All right, Hyplo, we'll go ahead and pass to get the smoke.
What's up, man? Talk about leaving somebody in suspense, right?
Right. I was like, what? Yeah.
I want to know which one he gave it to now.
Yeah. So what you got on the subject though, man, about Hany? What was your thoughts on the fight, man? Because
yeah, I thought the scorecards were fine. I didn't have a problem with that at all. All this like all this robbery after the fact and hand wringing is just, I don't know, man. People in fights like this, there's nobody got knocked down. There's no like controversial should have been stopped, shouldn't have not been stopped. It's just like who you thought won more rounds. People need to cut this shit out. There was a lot of swing rounds in there, sure. My scorecard happened to be in line with the judges' scorecards, but I wouldn't be mad if someone said Loma won. Like, particularly, I would have been mad if it was like a majority draw, split decision, or something like that. UD, whatever. That just happened to be my thing. But yeah, I could understand a split decision too.
Okay, all right. Well, while you here too, man, I'm letting everybody know, man, champ. That's the champ. I gotta give him his respect while he's here. He been flaming people up and doing this thing, So we putting all of it on the line. It's the hardware. I'm the champ right here, and we're gonna go ahead for undisputed. Me and this guy.
Yeah, I'm getting jazzed up for this this undisputed. I think it's gonna be a hell of a debate. I feel like there's some soft spots around both of these arguments. I wonder if we're gonna be able to find a target. We're gonna see.
Yeah, I started my research, so we're gonna see on Saturday.
You mean continuing the research? This is something that I'm sure has been in our minds as we look at all like heavyweight boxers, right? This is kind of like, how do you rank? How do you do a thing? Yeah, this is going to be an ongoing conversation. I wouldn't have ever really had this debate with somebody if it wasn't for the call outs and our boxing opinions being so close about most of the fighters, most of the divisions. So yeah, man, I'm jazzed for it.
Yeah, did I cut off?
Yeah, you did. We're gonna.
Sorry.
I think we're gonna give an education.
I was talking that whole time.
Yeah. We were saying that, and I think the education is gonna be very, very informative. I think me and you know how to have a banter back and forth and really pick apart each other's points and have people think about a different perspective. But Hyplo, since you back in, you live in HD, you left us on a cliffhanger. You were saying something, and we want to get back to it. Go ahead, you got the flow.
Do you remember where I left off or no?
Yeah, you said if you had to give the decision.
I would give it to Hany because I thought the 12th round was very iffy. I gave it to Loma, and that's where he got the draw. But I could have easily given that round to Hany also, and then he would have 7-5. I don't really see a scenario where Loma wins 7-5. Because, I feel like a lot of the people who watched the fight in the arena were reacting to shots that weren't landing, for real. Because when you watch it on TV, and both times that I saw it, Loma would come forward, he would throw a flurry of punches, and when they would show it in the replay, a lot of those punches were missing. So, also Zab Judah said, in an interview, that he thought Loma was doing well, but he was fighting in spurts. And I got to agree with him in that. He did not have a sustained attack enough for me to give him rounds over Hany, who was very disciplined, landing those clean body shots. I didn't see them really hurting Loma, but they were landing clearly. And then he was nice with the right hand and the left hook. Loma did a pretty good job of taking the jab away at certain points. But, yeah, I mean, for me, it was either a draw or Hany.
Okay. And I'm going to say this. I think the body work from Hany is very, very underrated. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to pin that there. And that's all I have to say about the subject matter because I'm going to go ahead and roll over to the fix. But I want to give Hyplo a chance to go ahead and say anything you got, announcements or anything you want to say. And I'm turning to get the smoke as well, too. If you want to talk some shit to me while you're here, I pulled up on your channel, so I need to give you that respect, smoke. So go ahead, Hyplo, speak your piece, and we'll get smoke.
Nothing. I'm looking forward to the debate. You know, both of you guys are well respected by me. I'm sure it'll be an interesting discussion, and you know, I'm just looking forward to it. You know, anytime you get two high-level guys that are going to debate something, like, I'm going to be tuning in. So everyone should tune in, and you know, have a great debate. And thanks for having me on.
Okay, no problem, Smoke, man. I see you. I'm sorry, Hyplo. I see you. Smoke, you got the flow, man. You the man. Let me go on and give you. I got to do it. No matter how much I'm in opposition to it, it is what it is. Go ahead and speak your piece.
Yeah, man. I'm in the lab. I'm definitely in the lab, sharpening up my argument here. I feel like it's going to be a very good and very spirited debate. I feel like it's going to be one that the YTBC hasn't seen in a very long time, at least since quarantine. Like, you have to go back when the world was a different place to get a debate like this. We're gonna go at it, man. I'm sure, I'm sure the feathers will fly. You know, it's gonna be unruly at times, highly academic at times. Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. No matter what wrinkle the game's coming, I think I'm going to be prepared for it. I don't think there's anything you can do in order to win this debate. So, yeah, like, good luck to you. Definitely sharpen up that research, because I'm coming for it. I'm sorry it has to be at the expense of one of my heroes, but hey, it is what it is. Sometimes your heroes are in the way of what it is you're trying to do in life, and they gotta go. Right. So it is what it is.
I understand. And while you here, before we wrap it up, I'm gonna say this: you will try, and you will lose. That's all I'm gonna say on that. You get the last word, man, and I'm gonna wrap it up so we can go to big field walk.
Yeah. I see you. I see you at the fix. Peace, everybody.
All right, man. My man Smoke, man. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to speak my last words. Get my jam in here. Gonna bring it back, and we're gonna get ready to wrap this loop up one more time. But yeah, man, just remember that. Take your time when you're analyzing the boxing. Look at the boxing properly. Go back and look at the fight. Devin Hany really did put in a lot of body work. A lot of punches that Lomachenko was throwing was kind of being evaded within the pocket. I know that's hard to see sometimes. And I'm not knocking Lomachenko, but he did well. But unfortunately, it just wasn't enough to usurp the king, Devin Hany. Let's go on and close this one down, man. Appreciate y'all for joining me. Let's head over to the fix and keep this thing rolling, man. This your boy Zone 6, man. I'm out.
Break it down. Give me 5 people you ready to fight right now.
Timothy Bradley, Paulie, Floyd Mayweather, Devin Alexander, and whoever the fan wants.
Listen, I told you give them something visual, so you went ahead and made your own YouTube-based TV show. It's an array of IPAs and fighters on the road. Got a question? Put them in your comment section right below. Barbershop talk while you're sitting in your living room. Pacquiao, Mayweather, and we can't forget the brews. Coming to you live with the scoops like a ladle. Allow me to introduce the boxing round table. Yeah.
Rollo Jenkins, boxologist, Zone 6, Dre, BT Pound, 78 Fight News, Blood Boxing, Blood Fists, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Female Boxing Fan, Carter J, Pull Counter, Joker Boxing, D Styles, the whole YTBC.